Hi, this is Willow from the Business Library. Today we're going to look at the US Census Bureau and we're going to find economic data. So we're going to start here at the US Census Bureau website, and this is just so you can get a little familiar with it so you can see what it offers. So it really does offer a lot of different information. You can just hover over topics here and see some of the things the data is offering. I think we typically think of the census as the 10-year information gathering that happens about population, but they do a lot of other things as well. But you can click on here and see some of the different topics here, and you can click right into them and they'll give you kind of a summary for a lot of them. Another option is to go into the surveys and programs, and then you can see the different surveys that I mentioned, right? So we typically think of the census. Last one was done in 2020. There's one planned for 2030, right? There's information already on what that's going to be. But then there's all these other surveys, right? So there's the American Community Survey, the Housing Survey, a Business Survey, and so on. And then there's this like county business patterns. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And then there's the economic census, and that's done, I think, every 5 years. But then there's some other ones that are done like the county business patterns more frequently. Okay, so you can click on those and get more information on them, but we're going to jump right into the data. That's what we want to do. So we can go to data and maps, and now all of the data from Census is coming from this one data.census.gov site. So there are actually a bunch of other kind of more intense, more advanced tools, data tools, and you can see clicking on some of them here will get you that. But the general access that you probably want and most people want is just this through data census.gov. So we click on this. And so this should look familiar because we already visited it in the regular census data summary, looking at communities or states. But here we're going to look more at the economic data, okay? And I would suggest going to the advanced search. It makes things a lot easier. So let's just click on that because we're going to look at an industry and geography. So we want different options. So you can see here all of the different options on the sides, right? So there's geography, topics, surveys, years, codes. If you had an industry code, like an NAICS code, you could type that in here, right? So you could select that. Or you can also just do a search. So we can search for shoe stores, and it's going to come up with all our industry codes, right? Those are our NAICS codes that should be familiar. So we can see that they have 4 digits all the way through to something more detailed. So the smaller the number here, the more stores it will include, right? So this is all shoe stores where you can see that these ones are specific, like this is only family or only women's shoe stores. So generally, you want this smaller number here, which will give you the bigger number of shoe stores, only because the data will be better. If you click on one of these ones, you might not get much data because they might not have collected in that detail. So I'm going to click the smallest number here, which gives us shoe stores, okay? Then I'm going to go through and click a geography as well. And so geography, we can click the entire nation, a state, a county, and so on. We're going to just pick a state, and let's just go with Arizona, okay? So here we have shoe stores in Arizona, and we can click search at the bottom here, and we get all of these different tables, and we can see that, yes, it's in the right spot here. This can be confusing because there are pages and pages of tables and you don't know exactly what they all are, right? They're all going to be different information. So I find it quite useful actually to go into the surveys option on the side here and click a specific survey. So we can do that. We can see that there's the economic census survey, which is the one that's every 5 years, and then there's other economic surveys that are more frequent. So if we click on that, we can actually click on this this business pattern data here, okay? And then we click on county business patterns. So that's the one that's done fairly frequently. I think it's done yearly. And we can click on that and see, okay, so let's take a look. So this is going to bring up county business pattern data. We're going to click on this one at the top and see here, okay? So here we can see we have different geographies here, right? Oh, there's the Arizona. We have, this was done in 2017, and we can click across along the bottom and see we have all establishments at the top. Okay, sorry, this is actually says it's done in 2021. and it says there are 315 establishments, okay, and it has payroll and other information. So that's a quick look at 315 shoe stores in Arizona in 2021 is the data. Okay, so that's that business patterns, county patterns survey. We could also alternatively look at the actual economic census. Okay, so if we get out of here and go back and go to the economic census, we can look at their core statistics. And so if we look just at the economic census, that's going to be the one that was in 2017, and look at that data. It's going to show us just one line of data, and you can see in 2017 when they did this, it said that there were actually 464. So there's been like a massive drop because of the pandemic and stuff in the number of shoe stores. Okay, so there's lots of ways to look in here and look at different data and look at different, you could look at different areas, right, to get an idea of what is happening within an industry. How many numbers of stores are there in a specific area? And you can look at it lots of different ways. So feel free to explore a little bit and see if you can learn a little more about the data that's in here. But that gives you a brief idea. Thanks.